live.
Well, I mean, does it like automatically tell people that we're playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody who's subscribed to us, it sends them a notification saying, hey, they're live.
Subscribe. You actually have subscriptions?
Yeah, there's 17 people who are subscribed to us.
Oh no, those are people who like it. Subscriptions cost money.
Oh no, yeah. But that is all you can do right now, and it does email them or something when we go live. But actual subscriptions, we can't even do that.
Well, if you do subscription, if it actually has subscriptions, it'll send them a text message. Oh, you don't want to play the Infect game? That's 7. Obviously on the play. Yeah. And remember, you have to keep everything between this edge and that edge, which doesn't leave a ton of spare room, I realize.
Yeah, I mean, you can move everything this way if you want.
Oh, do I need to keep everything from this
edge?
And I mean, the top of your library doesn't really matter, so unless you can see it, like it did for me. So y'all could actually move the entire table over, couldn't you? Or would it glare?
No, I'm trying to avoid
the glare.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, we could use the glare tester that I have here.
So
I have no flaws.
This is why this is the glare tester, because it'll glare first.
Oh, well, I'm rolling anyway.
Okay.
Don't let that inform your decision now.
In that case, talk about how shitty your hand is.
It has no mana sources.
That's fine in Legacy, Doug.
Okay.
Oh,
really? It's fine in Vintage.
Alright, so I don't think there's anyone on right now.
No. But it is saved to the YouTubes for posterity.
I have kept hands with goldfishing with this deck with no mana sources. Well, no lands, I'll put it that way.
I found a new thing to watch on the internet that I love. You ever watched any of the standard Super League thing on the internet?
No. Vintage? I've heard about
it. No, dude, they're all playing standard decks that are jank as fuck. Like, just because it doesn't mean anything to them, really.
Watch your language.
Sorry. But it's like they're playing all these like crazy decks or whatever, and then like LSV and Bueller are doing the coverage or whatever. It is awesome. Because they're like playing all these crazy decks, and they're just like, man, I don't... Like, and then basically they're just talking crap about the decks through the entire thing. Like I watched some of the vintage Super League.
Oh, we got a viewer.
I don't know.
We are officially live. Hello, one and only viewer so far. Welcome to Brad's house. Mobius pick, playing live Legacy.
I'll keep.
I am Zach. I'm playing Infect. This is Mr. Tolbert, Dr. Tolbert,
playing Int.
Playing Ad Nauseam Tendril Storm. We've already done the die roll and resolve mulligans. I'm on the play, and I'm going to take it away.
Almost a complete
We'll lead out with Tropical Island into Double Hierarch and pass the turn.
Well, most of them are signed or bent.
Oh, yeah, they're not. I mean, they're signed or whatever.
The rest of you.
I'm just saying that they're worth more.
Yeah. Phase it.
Pass turn.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't really care about them, so you can keep them, so you can put them in your just because you want to have a place set up or whatever. Seems like
if they weren't messed up.
Ink Moth Nexus. Pass turn.
Place that you're keeping them.
Nope. I'm keeping it set over there.
So there's just more of them.
Yeah, I was gonna keep a place of the new ones and a place of the old ones. I think that's overkill.
So we played the Ink Moth because we wanted to not have somebody take us next turn.
Get probe you.
There's a few missing.
Doug is going to now find out that our hand is a little soft.
Several.
It's a lot of
Finds Berserk.
That's a lot of things, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I got them off a bunch.
So with this hand, I need at least
they rotated.
2 more turns.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people.
Can't kill him next turn without an Invigorate.
Used to be like
Although Invigorate, pass turn, is a win.
Yeah.
And
then I finally
This is a new deck for me, so
I finally did one
don't
day.
talk as much as I otherwise could.
You're still gonna find something.
So we'll play the Tropical Island again.
Oh, one day.
Use the Hierarch to animate the Nexus and attack for just 2.
Blocks.
I'll get you a thing here.
What?
And that's it. Go ahead.
The new ones.
This was the draw for our turn.
Oh yeah, they are. Chunks of wins. Aaron just hasn't come by to
For anybody who's never seen Storm in action,
You want to sell on eBay?
it's a really
Pass turn.
complicated deck to play. Takes a lot of math. Not like this deck. This deck takes no math. Haven.
Can you count to 10? You can play this deck.
That's true.
Pro tip: don't
Can you count to
accidentally
10?
go to
You
9.
know more than you know more than you need to know.
So normally,
We could play
Storm. Well,
We could
and
play
even if
Infect
this,
too.
if I didn't know what Doug was playing, I would put him on Storm at this point because it's the only deck that I think it's the only deck that plays Duress main deck.
So,
What'd you do with that little stack of
And if I put them on Duress, they typically have no interaction game
Are you
one.
doing that thing again?
That is correct.
So
See the cards I don't have.
I will animate the Nexus, pump it up, and attack for 3.
I'm just.
No blacks.
Pass it back.
So you're not going this way.
We now have him at 5 and in lethal range.
Yeah, I think so. I get off at 2, I believe. Oh, okay.
We may still end up being a turn too slow.
Yeah, it was a questionable hand for me. Yeah, that's your game. There's nothing I can do. I was holding the tendrils, but I actually needed the Infernal Tutor to get past in flames.
Right, so
And I was a little flooded.
with this hand, you can storm for 1, 2, 3,
Just
4,
5.
so 10, which against some decks would be a valid line to try and buy a turn, like especially if you hit a.
But in fact, gaining life doesn't.
Right, I was gonna say, especially if you hit a in the next
Pass
turn
in
or two.
flames.
Yeah, pass in flames in the next turn or two. But Infect, he's dead, guaranteed.
I have another land on top.
So Doug flooded a bit. We're gonna stick with the usual where we don't board until games 3 through 5, and we'll run back the starting lists. This time with Doug on the play.
I wouldn't kill it that hard.
Just slightly better. Buys me at least one more turn.
These matchups are typically really quick.
Games 6 through 7 are just a boxing match in the yard.
Yeah, what's great is the actual mechanics of my turns don't take long. I just have to do all of it in my head before I actually execute it,
Yeah.
which is really frustrating. Especially when I'm off by 1. It's like, okay, well, I should have 6 mana left over so that I can tutor and pass in flames. No, only 5 mana. Well, fuck that one up.
I'm done.
I screwed that one up.
Are y'all familiar with chess boxing?
Oh, yeah. They,
I thought it'd be hilarious if you tried to do that with Magic.
Oops, sorry.
Where it's like 3-minute round of boxing, 3-minute round of playing Magic. Like, do it as much as you can in 3 minutes. And then trying to come back and remember your line after you've been hit in the head several times.
yeah, that'd be the most difficult part.
Well, I mean, people do it with chess. Though I would say chess is less complicated than Magic, considerably.
Yeah, I'll keep.
So this is the kind of hand we have to keep, even though in the dark, or even though since we know what he's playing against, we could just lose anyway. But I would never mulligan this hand in a regular tournament. So
Go ahead.
Sensei stop. Oi, that changes things. Was not expecting this. Jeez. Let's see. Storm usually runs about 17 land, 16 land, maybe one less.
It's usually 14 or 15.
14 or 15, plus 4 petals for mana sources. He's got the top to draw a card. Boy. Yep, we'll do it. Wasteland. Go ahead. The nice thing here is even if he has a land, it's unlikely he does the whole thing this turn, and that gives us another turn to draw more like reactive stuff. Would have been nicer if this was the only land, or the land he had to open on.
Well, I mean, not to reveal too much of my list, but I have 2 sources of red mana, and that's one of them. So if you can waste both, then I have to rely on Lion's Eye Diamond or Lotus Petal.
Oh yeah, I
to
forgot about Lion's Eye Diamond.
produce the red.
But Lion's Eye Diamond is useless in this scenario.
So let's ponder.
Yep. Phone is blowing up. Alright. Looks like a bunch of stuff I don't care about.
we're gonna shuffle.
And the Ponder Shuffle. Hey, we're up to 8 viewers. Welcome, everybody.
As I try and funnel my way through playing Storm.
For those of you just joining us, I am Zach. I'm playing Infect. This is Dr. Tolbert. He is playing Ad Nauseum Tendrils, or Storm.
I love that nobody on there can
You draw off the
whether
Ponder.
that's just a nickname or if he's actually a doctor.
Pass
He's a
I know
real
he
doctor
is,
from America.
America.
but on there, like
Go ahead.
you're like, this is Dr. Tolbert.
So we're
That
playing
could
the
be
only
anything.
real play we have for our turn. And we're hoping that Doug is not a
Dr. T.
turn away from killing us, basically.
Dr. T.
Because Storm has some good interactive... Yep, go ahead. Or proactive, I should say. Discard game 1. And a lot of times, like Ataxian Probe and that kind of thing, let them know, whether it's safe to try and go off. So it looks like he's keeping this.
Just don't.
If you hold it out a little further, they can probably see it anyway. But oops, sorry, bumped the camera. My bad.
It's like, oh, suck it. Suck it.
Then I'm going to get probe you.
I am getting probed. Well,
Put that, but like just peppermint into your
have it.
stuff. Like, as you can see by these.
Or have a duress.
Work like in a business meeting, and you're just like.
If you're not certain whether you can go off, now's the time to try.
Suck it. Hold on, did you just like suck it?
Because like I said, given how you had no reaction or interaction in game 1
Subliminally.
for permanence.
So doing the Wasteland route did it.
Good ones.
Because I don't have another source of mana. Otherwise
Okay.
I could try and go off this turn. But I'm holding the duress, but it doesn't matter.
Channel locky thing.
And you know the top card of your deck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so drawing with the top doesn't get him out of it.
Nope.
Now, because so obviously, well, leave your hand up. We're gonna since this game was so quick. So he's got enough permanent or spells in hand and cards in his graveyard that he could, if he had a mana, he could play his Dark Ritual with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 6.
Then cast duress.
Duress guarantees that I have no permanence
And that
or
puts
have no interaction. That
7
gives
in
me
my
7.
yard. Go and get 5 mana. Play the Lion's Eye Diamond. Infernal Tutor for another Infernal Tutor. Actually, I could Cabal Ritual. Or I could Infernal Tutor for the Cabal Ritual first.
No, you can't. You don't have enough
What's the
mana.
other one that's like this?
No, you're right. So I could Infernal Tutor.
No,
Well, before playing the
what
Lion's
you do
Eye,
is you
go
Infernal
get another
Tutor for
Lion's
another
Eye.
Lion's Eye, yeah.
Play both Lion's
Give
Eyes.
some
With the 2 mana I still have floating, Infernal Tutor, crack the 2 Lion's Eyes, go grab, Pass in Flames, use the 4 mana to cast everything. With Dark Ritual and Cabal Rituals.
Yeah, he's
just
gonna
one
have
ritual that's enough mana to generate off of it to then Infernal Tutor with one of them off the yard to go grab tendrils and win on this one. But I did not have the
You can also replay your probe for free. Like
Yeah.
he would have a
Just
storm
get the storm
count,
count.
roughly, what, 13, 15, something like that.
Yeah.
But because I had the Invigorate Berserk turn, whatever, combo kill, and he didn't have the final mana source or anything to start the chain, I just got him with that. Anyway.
Set it up where whatever you get, you're going to get it.
So, post-board games is where Doug gets interaction and I get more counterspells.
So we were playing the other day on the stream, and mouse died. And just quit.
You should get, like, I don't know. I have a backup mouse that's got a cord on it.
Well, so we just put more batteries in it, but it took me a minute to find them.
Yeah.
It's real funny. For me. It's not funny at the time, really, actually.
I refuse to call it Duty.
Did you get that?
That's right. Where it went to Monster.
Speaking of which, Zach, did you trade away that mythic? No.
Tried.
Are you going this Friday?
Probably.
Looks like I'm doing birthday things with my niece, so I probably won't be going this Friday either.
Understood. I had to unsleeve my sideboard because I didn't have enough sleeves for a modern event I played this weekend.
I mean, if they're commons from like, Theros, that might help you out. Are they?
They're commons from.
Okay, so the cards, I won't be able to take all of these out, but the cards that are least valuable in this matchup are the Wasteland, even though it won us that game. It's actually not typically very good because you have so little opportunity to use it against Storm. They'll either fetch a basic or they'll just hold their dual land until the turn they go off and it doesn't matter. But I don't have enough cards to bring in. What I do want to bring in is the extra counter spells. I have another two Pair of Fluster Storms, another Force of Will, and then Grafdigger's Cage and Bajoka Bog. Both of these help prevent him from going off with the flashback route from his yard. Bajoka Bog can actually be used proactively as well to make his Cabal rituals not produce enough mana, which actually means we want to keep the crop rotation. So, and I'm looking at cutting Dig Through Time and Become Immense because I don't have enough time to fill my yard up to make them work, typically. So we'll keep this, swap one land for a land, the 3 counter spells for the 2 delve cards and a vines, and then the Grafdigger's Cage for vines. So we'll just be keeping 2 vines in.
So the only decisions I have to make are boarding in a couple of Xantid Swarms, and then possibly Abrupt Decay for any hate he might be bringing in.
Yeah, Decay is definitely not the route you want to go if you're trying to like stop me.
Yeah, it's purely to stop the hate he could bring in, but I think that's probably the wrong route to go. And I cut 2 Duresses for the Xantid Swarm. They serve the same purpose. Xantid Swarm, he doesn't have any interaction with, and it has positive interaction with Cabal Therapy that I can flashback Cabal Therapy with a creature. So since he has any way of killing creatures, it's slightly superior. Although I'm not even sure that's 100% correct.
I don't even know what you would cut though instead.
Yeah, it's if you're cutting more than a few cards in Storm, then you're probably doing it wrong.
Yeah. It's how most really proactive strategies are, I think. You don't have a whole lot of room for stuff to cut. And Doug will be on the play again this round, or this game. So this is a hand we have to keep. It's super aggressive.
Yes, it's a questionable hand. Trying to think of how many 6 land hands are likely to be better. Or 6 card hands are likely
6
to be
land hands are terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I think we have to keep in the knowing what we're playing against. Cabal Therapy, naming Force of Will.
I have no Force of Wills. I do, however, have a Glistener Elf, a pair of Invigorates, Crop Rotation, Spell Pierce, Gitaxian Probe.
Okay.
So this
Past turn.
is essentially a turn 2 kill. I'm going to lead off, well, we'll play our land, and then Gitaxian Probe. So
You
Doug,
can see the questionable keep.
okay. So we know he's going to Cabal Therapy next turn, or more, he's likely to, unless the exact card he draws is the Tutor, or a like Brainstorm Ponder type effect that finds it. This will be his only play next turn, and the rest of these will be held. So. I'm actually just going to probe again. I still know his hand, obviously, but I want to dig a card deeper. And since he will therapy and I don't have a force and he'll take both my invigorates, I'm actually just going to pass the turn. That gives him more time to draw out of it, but I think I can fight long enough. He's not going off, like I said, unless he draws exactly what he needs.
Yell boom if you drew exactly what you need.
What's that? Boom!
Wish those had been fetch lands.
Tough to fill up your yard without him.
Yeah. Yeah. Good ball therapy targeting you.
We'll fetch the 15, I mean. And where'd it go? We're gonna burn the spell pierce. Must have moved it to the front of my hand. Yeah.
And I'm going to ponder.
He did draw the ponder. So now the pressure is on.
Pass turn.
Okay, so right now, what we want more than anything is another land. But if we don't get that, then we just... See, I don't think we can play our super reactive game any longer. We've got to get on the board and hope that he just doesn't get it in the next turn. Good. Because this well, knowing that I have the invigorates, this is such a clock, he can't afford to ignore it.
Get probe you. Daze, Flusterstorm, Invigorate, Crop. Daze and Flusterstorm. Okay. Daze and Flusterstorm.
So unless he draws a green... Oh, no, he doesn't have the decays in.
Ponder?
Yep, that's a good one.
What comes into play tap to gain your lock lands, do you need? Red, blue ones?
So you can only hit a 9 infect next turn.
Oh, and like 2 of the
I'll just leave these up since I don't have a brainstorm.
Tap for colors, but can you 2 light? Do you have any of those laying around?
Yeah, sure.
Shuffle.
Got any questions? Nope, we're up to 12 viewers though. Man, people like
So
that legacy.
popular.
So popular. Alright.
Alright.
Doug, don't hit the stand.
Well, shit.
Quit it.
It's about to go crazy shaky on the screen here in a second. Because there's like a delay.
Probe you.
That's wrong.
Oh, that's...
Dig through times, we don't have those.
Aren't they just a common?
Dig through times?
No.
I'm trying to you can actually
Common.
crop rotate, grab Pendlehaven,
And get a chance to
Yeah.
trade for 'em.
They're not
and win next turn.
Yes.
Treasure Cruise, actually, if you need them.
Because of the crop rotation.
I thought about
And-
it one.
Probe again.
Dig
Yikes.
through times just
Is that-
Is that all 4 of them?
3.
3 of the problems.
Need 4 dissolves. I don't know what's that. That's it. I think it's
Unfortunately, now Doug has to hit. Because he knows I have the days, he has to have like a lotus petal or something along
I
those
do.
lines.
It's all I needed to do was draw a Infernal Tutor, and I would have been fine.
Ah. But
We're-
you did not have the tutor.
No. I can... And then... Dark Ritual. Sack the. Yeah, maybe.
He's
I
mad.
guess I could try.
So you've
Petal,
played
sacking the
4
Lotus-
spells, 5
Yeah,
spells this turn.
Keep track. I'm gonna Lotus Petal for a blue and cast Brainstorm.
Got it. He still has not played a land this turn.
Nope.
So that is a live play. He's also at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells, and he hasn't cast a ritual yet.
You need how many radiant fountains? 2 of them.
In this case, at this point, if he doesn't have like another Lotus Spell or something, the very first ritual he plays gets dazed, because otherwise you may not get to.
Lotus Petal. Ponder.
Okay, he now has Lethal Storm, assuming he can find a land.
Well, I still haven't found the Infernal Tutor.
Watch your feet there, Chief.
The
Yeah, I
camera
think
shakes
that's-
every time Doug gets angry.
I have no decisions to make. If I could shuffle, right?
Yes. You can always blind into, I don't know what.
Infernal Tutor. No, because then I'd only have 2. But yeah, I could still. I'll have to brainstorm that. Yeah, I think I still can.
Good.
No, even then, because you could daze it.
Right.
Yeah.
There had to be a land in that pile of brainstorms.
Yep, true.
So the play Doug was talking about is, well, assuming I draw for the turn, and that would also do it. But what we would do is, if I hadn't drawn a land, like assuming this was not a land, the way you kill him is I'll attack, and then cast both Invigorates holding priority, because you can cast them for by giving your opponent 3 life if you control a forest. So while these are both on the stack waiting to resolve, I will then cast a 3rd instant, the Crop Rotation, sacrificing the only forest I have to get my Singleton Pendlehaven, which gives any creature that is a 1/1 +1/+2. So while these are on the stack, so this is still a 1/1. And what we would do is pump it up to a 2/3, and then this would give it 8 more to make it a 10/11, which is a 1-hit kill.
Because I want this deck to last through rotation. It's not going to be anyway.
So this is exactly what I was complaining about in the messages. The only having so many sources of actually finding a kill spell
Yeah.
is the constraining factors. I went through 3 Git probes, a Ponder, and a Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Still never saw the kill spell or the way to get
The
it.
tutor. Yeah.
Anyway, I can just.
I guess that's why a lot of them run a single Grim Tutor in addition to the 4 others, just because.
And I'm running
Make proxies for the rest of the coverage.
Sensei Dividing Top
That's
to
your
fill
alternate.
that role.
Because Grim Tutor is like $100+.
Oh, it's like 200. And
200
and it's a
plus dollars.
can be a nombo with the ad nauseum part because you're losing live. It costs 3 mana. That's
Yeah. I mean, it's like the next
Sorcery
best
speed.
tutor that's playable in Legacy, or like legal in Legacy, right?
Yep.
So Doug is on the play again for game 4.
Wait, isn't gamble legal?
We're gonna pretend Brad's not talking. No. No, gamble is definitely legal.
That's
So-
not very good.
It's not good, but it is legal.
Just wanted to prove you wrong.
So this hand looks great until one of these cards is not a land, and then we cannot keep it. I don't know what Doug's doing. He's on the play.
I'm
Should
taking.
have let him decide first, but at the same time, there's no way I'm keeping that hand. And anyone who says, yes, I had a Gitaxian Probe and a draw step, no. No, no, no.
2 of those, and there's only 2 of them.
It's a 19 land deck,
I'll keep
5 of which don't produce a color. A challenger approaches.
I knew I'd get you to laugh. My name's Lucas. You are?
I'm Brad.
You are the man of the house.
Leaving.
Or she not?
Okay, so this hand is better. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, the top.
So that was probably the only reason I kept this hand.
I'm gonna fetch and Let's see. What can this hand develop into? I'm definitely fetching. You're at 20 again, right? Yeah. I'm at 19. You're at 20. So it's important to put as much pressure as you can on early. So I'm gonna play the Glistener Elf and get land. Go ahead. Infect has a lot of options early
before
game.
the draw step, I'm going to look at my top 3.
Because of the abundance of 1 and 0 mana spells. But the only other consideration would be to play something like this, but I don't think I think that the sooner we put pressure, the better. Since this is going to provide as much pressure as any 2 of these would anyway.
Let's probe you.
All right.
Days, agent. So no pump spells. I have a little bit of time. Draw my card.
So there's some consideration for dazing the probe, assuming he doesn't have a land drop. You have to mind those feet.
And pass turn.
All right, so now Doug knows the contents of our hand. Boy, that also makes it more difficult. So playing the Noble Hierarch here increases the amount of damage the elf does, but it's likely, because of what's in our hand, that we don't want to sit around and wait for a 5-turn clock. So I think I'm actually just going to start with a Ponder.
Got it.
This is the kind of reason that we want to Ponder, because this is not helping. So we'll shuffle that, cross our fingers.
So I'm taking my time since he hasn't represented much of a clock yet. And I don't want to get forced into a weird position if I can help it.
We'll draw off the Ponder. That was a good draw. Probe, see how much time we think we have. Okay. So we can't cast the Sanded Swarm without cracking a petal. He already has the Ad Nauseam, so he doesn't actually have to find a tutor. He just has to find
enough mana.
Yeah, ritual effects. He's got no blue mana to play the Preordains or anything. The Preordain though, so we'll almost certainly see another probe next turn. And he'll probably spin his top 2. Okay. This almost guarantees we have at least one more turn.
Yep.
Note to self, somebody brings the
Perfect.
doorbell. They are a telemarketer or
Coming in
not
for 2.
a guest.
So we got lucky there,
Not a
finding
telemarketer.
the land after
Hey,
not finding it off the
door-to-door
Ponder.
salesman.
Go ahead.
So, got hooked into something.
So you know what the
I
next
know
card
mine.
is, right?
Yeah. I'm going to have it spin during my upkeep.
So it's assumed that because he knows what the next card is, it's not the land
Yeah,
he's
that would've been
hoping
awesome.
for. That's why we knew he would spin on the upkeep, and that's why we
Just don't buy
can be
things.
fairly certain he's not going off next turn.
You don't buy things on the spot.
That's not a guarantee, but
You know what I mean? Like, who does that? I'm here to sell you something you didn't know you needed.
now we have access to lots of mana,
Try to get you 2.
exactly the way we want it.
Hooked you in.
We can cast our spells, dig
It's like
for
a small card. Okay.
spell pierces and that kind of stuff, and still present a clock. Things are better. We still need a pump spell pretty bad though, because we can't give him 4 more turns. He'll almost certainly find something.
I was watching a couple weeks ago.
Probe you.
So here comes the probe. He knows we've got.
People watch right now.
He knew our
Was that
hand.
you saying that you were coming? Was that you saying you were
Pick
coming?
these up.
On the string? Yeah.
Play both the pedals.
So the first pedal we're gonna daze. Okay.
That guy again?
Yep.
What does he want?
What's the cell?
The daze isn't gonna get much better here.
Did you tell him
If
that
he
you
has,
want it?
if the cards he's drawn are like a bunch of
Casting
rituals.
preordain.
Okay.
So show him your scry. I'll back up.
Yeah.
So these are his decisions.
And we're putting both of those on the bottom.
All right, he's scrying to the bottom. Always a good sign. We have a chance. Storm count is 1, 2, 3, 4 currently.
Pass turn.
5. All right, storm count is reset. Another reason it was worth playing the days right there is that if we want to put back lands off of the brainstorm we know we have, we can hold more like invigorates or whatever we happen to draw. And I think we'll immediately start off with just that. Brainstorm. So we draw 1, 2, 3 cards.
You know, attached to that, we get a dual land on my house.
So here's our hand. Impressive, right?
Don't be intimidated. Nobody actually watches.
Just try to keep the bad language to a minimum because I know how you like to scream cuss words or anything.
So we're gonna put these back
He actually has
because they're,
threats.
well, our hand is just
Zane,
glutted
you
right
should
now.
sit in
Our only hope now is that he has a 5-card hand, which obviously couldn't get there last turn.
Zane really does have Tourette's, though.
I used to hang out with a guy that had Tourette's, but
How the girl
in fact, my
doing?
girlfriend's son has Tourette's.
How's your little?
So
But he
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
have that.
Is he
kind
big
of
now?
Tourette's.
He
In
over
fact,
15
that
pounds.
you go in for 3 damage next turn. Let's see, he's gonna take 2 this turn.
One nighttime feed?
Good ones.
Usually 2 to 3.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Just leaves him at
So
4.
in fact,
3 and 3 is lethal.
That makes one of
to get him to go to
So
sleep.
if we crack the fetch,
So and we weren't overly excited about doing that, but it is.
Yeah, if we crack the fetch,
Actually,
we have a chance of drawing into a pump spell, but if we miss,
Or it's a website.
he gets an extra turn, so I think it's actually better to just press our luck, play the Blighted Agent, swing for 2,
Not for everybody.
and hope that we can get
It's mom's on call.
2 turns to kill
And
him.
it's just a schedule. 24-hour schedule. This is how you should feed him.
Go ahead, Doug.
And it sucks for like 2 days.
And then-
And it's done. Like she's been in her crib since like 3 days old.
This is getting absurd.
Oh, my daughter. My first daughter was probably staying like a month and a half, stayed in her room, like in the little bassinet. Because they don't know anything, just sit there. And so she pick her up and feed her whenever and all that kind of
At
stuff.
least 3
Second
next
time,
turn.
we figured it out.
Or
Let's
could
just say
take
weeks
3
in,
next
like
turn.
how to get her onto a schedule. Because they're like basically dogs or cats at that point. You just train them. And
16.
so for this one,
Since development.
yeah, I know.
It's very truthful.
For this one, my wife was like, "Fuck that, we're not dealing with 8 weeks of crap." So literally like the first week, she started following the schedule, and we have 1 nighttime feeding, and it's good.
So it's
Spin the
like,
top.
it's
Mhm.
like, feed them at this time.
So like I was saying, we now have a
Whether
2-turn
hungry or
clock,
not, and it takes about 2-3 days.
which means that Doug gets this turn to set up and next turn to try and go off.
I'm not gonna be on
And
the
there's
visual
not a whole lot
signs.
we can do
Cats,
about
they're
it.
like straight,
But
they're like smart dogs. Cats.
Exactly. Like
That's how it
2-year-old
is.
golden retrievers.
It's hilarious. So like now your daughter eats at normal time and sleeps at a normal time.
And my little brother, I like to hang it over his head because I'm just kidding. New parents stuff like that. But his daughter just turned a year and still sleeping
Cashing
in
in
the
the
bedroom.
top.
I'm like, well, why don't you get your fuck on if she's sleeping in your bedroom? Like,
Yep,
that's not
alright.
good for me. And so you got her in the
100 it is.
crib in the
Yes,
nursery.
just shot right in front of
These should be
me.
3 cards you knew. Probably does not
Yeah.
want,
You're gonna get your
Any other job, you wouldn't say it.
get your fuck on.
unless it's a card.
So we make fun of Kyle. It's
Let's
like,
see, that gives him
your kid's not sleeping.
a storm count of 1. If he's drawing
Anyway, it's more just
Lotus
shitty
into
to-
rituals.
to,
Lotus
so-
Petal, I mean,
yeah,
into
yeah,
rituals,
I
it could be
It's cool.
could be the turn he goes for it. If not, I think this will be a shuffle.
Yeah, he is. That's what's funny. Y'all are obviously, in good relations.
Oh yeah.
Pass
He's
turn.
finally coming
Alright.
over. So he's an accountant, right? And I am
So
most
we're
definitely
gonna
not an accountant.
fetch with the
So
Misty.
he's finally coming over
Get a drop.
end of the month and like fully organizing all my cards. Every single
Some argument to
card
not
by
fetching
color,
because it
alphabetically ordered.
changes the amount of storm he has to get, but I'm pretty certain with a hand like that, if he gets there, he's gonna get there.
Not
He
original.
does actually swear more than I remember.
my stuff.
I was actually just joking. He's actually usually.
Alright, so we animate the Ink Moth, come in for
I've
3,
been traveling and
put him to the 1 turn he has left,
I have to watch my language stream.
and
Now it's game on.
pass it back.
I'm fine with it, really, but they can't hear you.
They can or cannot?
They can.
They can probably hear us
The
pretty
thing
clearly.
is the only way that he could get in trouble on there is if somebody.
So he's gonna
on
go
there
for it
is
here.
listening.
Oh, is that
And
a
took
Twitch?
offense.
Is that a Twitch
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Like complain?
Whether he can or not,
You
we'll start
can
a storm
set it
counter.
to-
1.
Okay.
You know,
To-
But we're trying to appeal to a larger audience.
Dark Ritual,
So when I'm trying
There's 2.
to
And he's got 3 black mana.
trick my wife, I would rather not have.
Bar Ritual.
Cool. So
I love it.
I have 7 in the yard.
3 minus 2 plus 5. He has 6 black mana. There's
Use some
the storm
proxies
count
or
is
whatever
3.
those fellas.
Cancel is
Tamer?
close enough to dissolve.
Go with Ad Nauseam.
Back in,
Ad nauseum leaves him with 1 black and a storm count of 4.
Dargan counterburn.
Dargan Counterburn.
And now he has 16 life to play with.
This is
so
actually
bad.
not a deck.
I didn't
You
get
can
my-
go to the next one.
So there's
15.
15,
I called and they said I could, and then I went
14,
on
13.
and they said no.
12,
Yeah, so I gotta win
So
another
you
one.
just totally
11, 10, 9, 8.
that
Wasted
Lily
so
man.
much spot, yeah. And I didn't get my Lily. Well, it was work. Yeah, work's more important than Lily, but
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Man, I wish I could have gone.
7,
instead.
6.
I would have sent you.
What's the storm
I would have
count?
sent this deck. This deck's undefeated so far.
Well, I mean,
Hold on a
I
second.
wish I
6
could have
life,
gone and
storm
picked
count
up
is at
the
4.
prize for it and
Well, and I knew a
6.
guy up there. I was like, hey, can
7.
you just give it to this guy? Can you sign me up?
I still need
Give
to
me
protect the
a
combo.
loss and drop or whatever. Just give him a card. Like I can vouch for him. He's, you know,
Land,
six.
keeps his life the
That's
same.
4.
4. That's enough.
Man,
You can
that
stop
really
there.
stinks.
Yeah,
Well,
I just
I mean,
I
you
go
gotta-
down
you
to
gotta do
3.
that job.
Yeah.
So keep the job. I guess.
Once you're at 4, there should be a lot of consideration for
And
not
I'm
going
sure
any
maybe
further
like
because you
you
can just
don't
die
really
to the
care, but
Passing
passing
flames.
flames.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, work comes first.
So I think I can
would
stop
like that Lily.
there. There should be enough
Oh, yeah.
mana.
didn't party.
I'll try to win. Try to win again. So
That's unfortunate.
Just leave it face up.
I was looking forward to seeing one in
You-
person.
Oh, I was gonna say you can move it to the back if you want.
Well, I'll go
We
ahead
got
and
the
show it
storm
to the crowd.
counter.
So I'll go ahead and show the
Just
rest of
give
my
you
hand.
qualifying.
So let's go down to 1 and get probe you.
And as far as I know,
Right,
it's
so
the
I have
same
no
one.
permission in hand.
No permission.
Yes.
5.
So let's add a blue.
Yep.
So I'll go up
So,
2 mana
makes
and
sense
cast
to me.
Cabal
1 black,
Ritual.
1 blue.
Cabal Ritual.
He now has
You would
8
go to
mana.
every qualifier. You
8
would
black
try to
mana.
Get the free Lily, if nothing else.
And that's storm count of 7.
there's
7.
Another, there's another qualifier.
That's
on
another
Saturday. I can't go this
1.
week. I think I'm gonna go next week.
I can't go
Storm count of
but
7.
I can go.
Then
Oh, I'm sorry.
8
Yeah, we
mana.
ran out of
And
dice.
I can Infernal Tutor for whatever I want.
Good.
Whatever I
There's
want.
definitely one next.
Well, it's
That I'm already
whatever's in your
holding.
hand, right?
Yeah. I
One
mean,
this
I can go
Saturday
get.
and
Right, so that'll put your storm. That can
I
put your.
think there is one on Sunday.
Is that better than just
Can't go
playing
on Saturday. I'll be out of town.
this?
Yeah, I can just play
Oh my God.
actually
You
more
can
put
spells.
all 3 of these
Cast
cards in
the-
your hand, right?
Sundays.
Tendrils.
These 3 and have enough mana to tendrils.
Yeah.
No,
And,
Cast any
and
three
knowing
spells.
that I have no counter spells,
Sunday.
I'm actually only at 16, so casting it now is lethal.
That's the one I won.
I forgot you're only.
People.
Yeah, it's something to remember.
Really
Yeah,
good.
do damage to yourself occasionally.
Quite a few people from the group here was there. Yeah, a guy from Birmingham that's like a train engineer.
Ed.
Yeah, he was there. A couple.
Oh, you said that.
The guy that's
I'm not sure if
actually.
it's Ed.
I'll never forget.
Ed.
That was,
Maybe it's
it was
just
fun
'cause
watching.
his name's so short.
Remember that guy you played at in Nashville? He was on Charbelcher. Like he played
Nashville.
like in that side event. He bombed out real quick in Nashville.
Oh, I think he's gay, but I don't.
Yes,
I don't
he's
know.
not. He's not.
He's not.
I know. It's
He's
shocking.
just-
He's got a girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah. And like,
Who
like
we were talking
I
about?
mean, we thought you were too, Doug.
But yeah, he was there. And
Like all the way up until you knocked your wife up. We thought she was just a really dedicated beard, and then was like,
Oh man.
So he's not. He just effeminate.
man, there are some effeminate dudes that are, straight as an arrow. or whatever.
I was about to say Zach.
There's some
and you said
fully
the last
like, there's
part.
some fully
All
like,
right, Tuber,
in your face,
Tuber Tugger.
aggressively
Welcome
man
to the,
dudes that are straight up
stream.
there, too.
is that post board since you
You
have
like
the,
you like
swarm
when you
in
say that commentary? Are you referring to all the side convos that are going on? Out there?
Probably.
Holy cow! We have 38 people watching.
That's because we're talking about random stuff.
No, it's because we're playing Legacy.
It might be.
Brad,
They're
we're becoming
different.
popular.
They're definitely.
This is round 5.
Can I get next? I got rub.
Sure. All right.
Or burn, your choice.
I don't care.
I finally just built it. I was like, screw it. I
All
got
right.
burn.
So Doug
Burn is that-
won a game. I am going
Burn.
on the play.
It's an awesome misery deck.
If we could get
You
to
scoop just so much. But you just smash so many people and they get real furious about it too.
Well, I mean, you could do the same with Turf Vulture. Like, I thought about building it several times.
Alright, so we know what we're against.
Solid little deck.
This hand has way too much mana and not enough interaction, so we gotta throw it back.
Bought it, sold it, bought it.
So this is a keeper,
Something like that.
but I'm not
He always
thrilled
played
about
it,
it.
and he played it enough that he was good at it.
Nope.
He's not a terrific Magic player. So,
Who are we gossiping about?
Just
you gotta play Char Vulture up at the comic shop.
Cecil?
Yeah. He played Char Vulture like a champ. Like, no joke.
You just gave him a super compliment.
Tuber Tugger says, "Oh, I'm being welcomed," and then he says, "Yes, all the side stuff." Ruffle.
Instead of saying that he sucks at Magic.
My bad.
We're glad you're enjoying yourselves.
I don't say bad things.
Yeah,
about
we can
people
go
usually,
any
unless
flavor
they're
of
gaming.
Dover. Finally
I mean,
finished
I
it.
do.
To their face.
Cover Jessica.
Oh, it's to their face.
Because that's not a real deck.
You play white. Get out.
I don't think Jeskai Delver is. I like Jeskai Stoneblade, alright.
Just got Stoneblade's a good deck.
Delver doesn't tickle me.
Still is solid.
So you said you were keeping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
This
I take
is
out
a little
the
more of the
collection
hand we want to see.
Did I take out the collection?
Ain't great, but it's alright.
Is that why you have
Probe?
Nice.
So I
this.
spent $1,000 on a collection, and he up front showed me Tundra, 4 Underground Seas, 4 Badlands,
Well, there you go.
and a Beta Berserk that was like heavy damage. Like it almost had a giant poke in
It's
it.
the one in Zach's deck.
I'll
so
cast it if I get a chance.
So I told him like, maybe
Alright, so-
this is worth
so
more than $1,000 if you.
this hand-
but it's fine. Okay.
I don't know if he has green sources to play this one. Doesn't really matter.
Volcanic Island, Force of Will, Lion's Eye Diamond,
The first 2 spells, guaranteed.
Plateau. And
He's
then
got
tons
all
and
of
tons
the
like $20, $30 cards, $10
Rituals.
cards. So I've
Tutor.
already
He
sold
has no way to
like
empty his hand yet, though,
$1,000
so he's going to have to try and cast
300
some of these
something
things
me.
to
Yeah,
get
he kept
cards
the 4
to where
Underground
this
Seas, 4 Badlands,
produces
the Lion's
or
Eye
gets the
Diamond.
effect he wants of getting just the single card. Okay,
So yeah, I'm
so
pretty
draw off the
I sold the
probe.
bulk off this weekend.
How do
It's
you
a
like
draw.
another?
Gonna fetch
Okay.
and play Glistener Elf.
I'm still learning to mulligan, and it's a deck that punishes you for mulliganing.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Play it and pass it back to Doug.
What's that?
who just sold the bulk?
Some random dude in Madison.
Oh, just for a reasonable amount of money?
I mean, it was like $24,000 or 24,000 cards. I sold it for $250.
Go ahead, Doug.
That's close to bulk rate that
Okay.
you'd get going
No.
somewhere else.
Yep.
For old cards that included uncommons that I
17.
left in the junk rares.
We've been using Kuka Trade to try to build into Mud initially, and then vintage shops. And it is impressive how much bulk is worth. Like, I had no idea. Like, I'm gonna be able to build a shop stack this year.
Really? So, you have a good review for Cookie Trade? You have a good review for Cookie Trade?
Kyle handles all of it. He's like my secretary.
That is so funny.
I don't do anything for Kuka Trade.
It's unfortunate that he wouldn't do that for me.
He does a great job on it too. Like,
So the question now is,
Well,
do I go ahead and
you're a
Cabal
bit-
Therapy in the
I
dark
have to drop,
to
like,
try and hit some permission that might stop the eventual brainstorm to clean up the hand a little bit? But I don't really want to brainstorm until I have another source of mana. So I'm thinking I just hold. So past
I have a
turn.
vintage deck. I've been playing
I
it a
might
lot.
get one of them too.
Alright, back to
I've been
us.
playing a lot online. Well, I
Play another land.
You do.
Blighted Agent
So we
and tap for
actually
1.
are
Yep.
streaming TGO now.
Gotta get a clock
We don't
out.
have very many
As
cards.
anemic as this one
It's
is.
usually in the
Go
cards
ahead.
name. Sometimes you'll see me, but if you like check the dailies, I haven't played in a couple weeks.
That'll work.
But
You been playing?
yeah, Vintage Daily is fun because it's usually like 20, 25 people. You see the same folks. The shops is just a wonderful, like, people hate you. It's a feel bad deck, so I enjoy playing it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're the guy that those 25 people talk shit about behind their back.
Well, there's like, I think there's 3 of us that play shops. I got on the regular, because I only play 3 or 4 times a week.
Do it. So you're one of the people.
You should
that
cover streamers.
I'd be happy.
So the assumption is here,
Ponder.
Very good.
So
Doug
we're gonna be
has
doing
a
drafts of
second spell to go digging.
this weekend if we can.
Tempest.
We'll daze it.
I watched some of that today.
Past turn.
With the
I'm
preview draft,
like
a fan.
95% certain if you had a second land, you would have played it before the ponder. So
Yep.
we gotta get value with dazes where we can. Gotta keep the pressures on.
Like,
Had I
build
known
the shadow deck or lose is what it seems like to me. Like, if
Play
you
a
build
little
the shadow
foothills,
deck, it just seems if you
Type
just
for
build-
2,
Those
like
slivers.
and send it back to
Yeah,
Doug.
but
If you
I mean,
if you like first pick muscle sliver.
yeah, but I mean,
Seems like
Then you
Slivers
still have to
is
hope.
out.
One, you have to hope nobody else is picking slivers.
True.
And you have to be heavy.
This whole
You
game
have
is gonna
you have
revolve around
heavily
me trying to
prioritize those, comes into
keep
play
Doug
type
off-
blue lands.
Off of casting spells just long enough.
Not that all Slivers get shadow.
Now we get into a
We should
spot.
be.
But there's crystalline, which is good.
Oh, start by attacking for 2. Yep.
They
I think the likelihood of
I like that they were like,
using
they're like,
these
if
for
we go-
this,
We changed
using
it from,
these
I don't think it is.
for this is really unlikely. So I'm actually just going to hold and pass it back.
Whatever the one that the first one.
Oh,
This hand improves dramatically when we find a brainstorm.
I needed to
Doug's also holding
capsize an uncommon.
a large
Because they
hand. Go
didn't want
ahead.
people to get capsized a lot.
I'm going to pretend I didn't know that he
And I was like, that
drew a
back
second
breaks.
Sanded Swarm and assumed that that was the first one he had.
get probe.
Sure.
Probe
Yeah,
is
standard build,
good.
Modern build,
Forcible
from
on
modern
days and 2
places.
lands.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's just not fun.
But,
18,
you put
17. He fetched.
Whatever you want for. I think I have a deck for.
Basically anything you want.
So now
They're not all put together.
pressure is a little bit on.
Standard will go quickly.
Like I could grab Zane or Zach's modern
Dark
deck
Ritual?
probably.
Either loser with the first
Yeah, we'll daze it.
5 turns. No, it's
Again,
target's live.
if I let him have it,
Turn.
he's gonna Cabal
It's
Therapy
hand.
and take the only card that matters. He's gonna take the daze anyway, and you just have to use them when you've got them.
Smash his face.
Daze loses value over the long haul.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well,
Enigma Moth, come in for 2.
Yeah,
I think that changes the clock by 1. Yeah, okay, so this actually increases the clock. He has to go off next turn. Go ahead.
Stoke you. You die.
I saw somebody playing that. It's the no.
So this wasn't our greatest draw.
It
was actually a terrible mull to 6, but we'll live with it.
Dark Ritual.
There's the Dark Ritual. Start a Storm counter and a mana counter. He's got 3 black, Storm count is 1.
Against somebody, 'cause it's just wonderful. If you don't care for somebody, you just want them to like feel really shit. And
Cabal Therapy, naming Force of Will.
He has 2 mana, 2 spells. I have 3 lands he knows about and a Force of Will, which is gone.
And
Alright.
yeah,
Cabal Ritual for 5.
He has 5 mana, Storm count is 3.
it's so strong.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he has exactly 7.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Because it's +1/+1 to all your dudes.
Yes.
And they take 3 damage, or you can prevent.
So this is the typical, it happens or bust.
Just adding on to it.
Here comes the Brainstorm.
It's pretty sick.
We're down to,
It's gotta be
or Storm count of 3,
You have
4, sorry.
Like Fountain Street, and then that Fountain Street.
We know he has a tutor, but he has to empty his hand either with a Lion's
I
Eye
was
Diamond or
watching
something else
Cover
before
and,
it
the
matters.
guy had,
After that, though, it's pretty much a guaranteed win.
He sideboarded that 3 Anger of the Gods, and that guy almost killed him before he had the mana to cast Anger of the Gods.
Or he has to be able to
I love
put
it.
back
And I was like,
Zanted Swarm
I was
and
like,
any
like,
other
he was
spells he
literally,
can't
like, on
use.
6.
Played Land Stream.
And he Anger of the Gods just wiped all the guys out, and the guy just burned him out from there.
Yeah, you just
And I'm like, but I mean, like,
Probably right.
that's scary.
I'm pretty
Like, I mean,
I
going
can't go to the
under-
internet.
going under
There's a
Wrath
2-minute
God, I
delay.
understand, or going under whatever Christ Fate or
however long it
still,
is, 30
that's
seconds,
the thing.
something.
I can understand that,
Yeah, you just don't care about anger.
but yeah, you're like whatever. Anger of the
No,
Gods.
that sounds funner and funner.
I was playing this guy. I
Oh,
was
it's
playing like
sick.
a fun little Jessica.
Yeah, you couldn't have had
Married
this last
Control.
turn, or the
His
ritual would have
condition
resolved.
It was a cool deck. His cool condition was Secret Away, and then that enchantment that can turn into a
Now I'm
creature.
just trying to think
Oh,
of.
Myth realized.
Yes. And so he's got like 3 Mithril.
I guess technically
on the
Doug
side of the board.
can
Each
buy
one's a 4
one
or 5
more
power.
turn
He's
with
angry,
the
he's
Zanted
plus 4.
Swarm in hand.
Yeah.
And rolling out 10.
Alright, so using 2 of those, maintaining priority, sacking the Lion's Eye Diamond for 3 red.
So for anybody who doesn't know how this works, since he hasn't done this yet this game, what happens is as you cast Infernal Tutor, it'll sit on the stack. He retains priority, meaning it doesn't resolve yet, and I don't get a chance to respond. And then he breaks the Lion's Eye Diamond, which produces 3 mana of any one color, just like a Black Lotus would, but it requires that you discard your hand to do it. So, excuse me, he is getting 3 red mana with it, discarding his hand, and then when the tutor resolves, he has no hand, so it's, what's that called, Hellbent mode is active, which means he can search his deck for any card instead of having to search for one that he has a duplicate of in his hand already. I'm not even going to bother. So now, the storm count...
I don't mind.
6.
Yeah, storm count is 6. He has 3 red and 3 black mana,
So let's use the 4 red
and 1 black.
and 1 black to cast the pass and
2 black. Storm count goes to 7.
And then let's cast Dark Ritual, and Cabal Ritual. So that puts.
So the storm counts 10. He generates a ton of mana.
Yeah, makes sense.
Have tons of mana, and then I go an Infernal Tutor for the Tendrils of Agony, and then Tendrils.
So yeah, now that he has no hand, casting this from his graveyard with flashback, it still acts as a Hellbent version. He goes to get the Tendrils of Agony, which is his kill condition, and then I lose having no permission in hand.
The computer can do whatever.
And I could have flashback the Cabal.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I can minimize.
Damn. Next card.
yeah.
Well, it's one of those. That's another kill condition for you is having Bajuka Bond. So having crop rotation and then crop rotate for the Bajuka Bond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Luckily, I get to look at your hand multiple ways.
Yeah,
So
or
that's
I think you got a lot of comments too.
what time is it?
You have a lot of.
Rug is a rough
So you might want to read some of
It's
them.
5 o'clock.
I need to leave right around 5:30.
Okay, you two can play then. I will.
You're gonna play Death and Taxes or Ant?
It's your choice, man.
Oh
I'm
gosh.
playing Rug Bug or no? I'm playing Rug because it's supposed to put together.
Rug's rough, but it's about as rough as it gets. I'll try. I'll go against.
Oh, we got comments. Holy cow! LED
Grixis.
tutor potential's
I think it's
dead.
one of the
Why is he even going for past?
How awesome will my sweat stain show on your camera?
They probably
It
won't.
just shows the.
Not enough storm.
It smells
Was it one of? I think two. I really wish I could follow what was going on. Getting into gathering seems like a vertical one. Oh, Gentai or whatever your name. I'm not sorry if I'm mispronouncing. However you intended that to be pronounced. Following a game of Storm, if you have no idea how the game works, is really tough. Now, are you going to play Storm again?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to continue playing Storm. We will probably play a different format after this set of matches. So if you want to either stick around or tune in like 20 minutes, either way, we'll be playing formats that resemble more normal Magic later.
Probably got time for that poison counter.
Okay.
Nobody got time.
Hey, you'll have a slower clock than he does.
That's true. I'm much slower.
You have way more disruption. I have to play around Stifle now. I don't know.
I couldn't find
Oh,
a 60
I have
card,
Ace
so I haven't
Stifle,
spelled
Doug.
it. Was that Infernal Tutor?
Oh no.
It's the new legacy type.
Oh, that's actually not a bad card for me because it makes it that much harder to name something appropriately with Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'm not going to hit more than one spell snare.
To the now 41 viewers out there, welcome.
Check that out.
I feel like that's just 38 people who logged on and forgot to log off.
No, it is not. They are all talking in the
Or it's
chat.
40 people. 4. Yeah.
You got it.
Mold Force. So you need to keep yours like that far over on your mat. I have to keep mine. So I
And do
I
not
have my
step on that
graveyard
piece
with-
of PVC
Yeah,
pipe
try
down
not to
there
kick
where it
the
shakes
PVC
the
pipe.
camera like crazy.
Oh my god. So this is as about a snap mulligan as I've seen in a while. A 4-land hand with Passing Flames and Ad Nauseam in the opener.
Wow.
So-
Yeah, that would do literally nothing.
Against an unknown opponent, this also is a snap ball again, and that I've got 0. No, against you, I get directly.
You have absolutely no pressure.
That's the kind of hand that like you would keep it hoping there's storm, and then it would go like Mountain Goblin Guide. And you'd be like, no! Or even worse, Mountain and then Goblin Laugh.